Estamos no ar, esse é o Esquenta 89 na Rádio Rock, terça-feira, 5 de novembro de 2019. Boa noite.
Boa noite.
Boa noite. Tudo bem você?
Tudo ótimo.
Hoje estamos com uma convidada especialíssima, internacional.
Maravilhosa.
KT Tunstall tá aqui. O que a gente vai fazer? Tocar música enquanto você ajeita?
Gente, posso falar? Posso falar uma coisa pessoal da minha vida? Gente, essa música, aliás, a música, né, que do primeiro álbum da KT que estourou, Suddenly I See, era a música da minha vida. Gente, eu dançava essa música no carro com uma amiga. Ju, um beijo pra Ju, porque ela tá ouvindo.
Beijo!
A gente dançava e cantava e a gente tinha certeza que a música tinha sido feita pra gente.
Não é?
A gente se achava.
Temos
I'm just saying
histórias.
that this music, I used to sing with a friend of mine, and we always thought it was made for us, you know. I said, oh, it's our music. We used to love it. Actually, we still love it.
We play this music every weekend here in the radio.
Yeah.
It's a music for the weekend, you know. A happy music and yeah.
Obrigada, Brazil.
Welcome, KT.
Thank you so much. Obrigada.
So we're gonna play a song and then start the interview, ok? Vamos tocar uma música aqui, a gente já volta.
Já.
Esquenta, será que você aguenta?
Esquenta 89, hoje com uma convidada especialíssima, KT Tunstall está aqui no estúdio. Welcome, KT to Brasil.
Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm back.
Ela tá feliz.
11 years.
11 years?
Crazy. 2008.
So long
last
ago.
time.
And what
I
do you
know.
most like here in Brazil?
I like the people. There's so much I like about Brazil, but like for 11 years, every day I look on my phone, someone goes, "Come back to Brazil."
Amazing.
There's so much love. And so I'm a British person. I'm from Scotland. So like we don't even really touch each other.
And here?
Yes,
like
when
so-
she arrived, you were like kissing
Oh,
and
can we
I'm
kiss?
sorry.
Can we kiss?
Three,
We
one,
kiss
two.
a lot here.
And here I remember so clearly after my shows here in Sao Paulo and Rio, all the fans were hugging me, kissing me, and it just felt so good. It was like so natural. I loved it.
Maravilhosa, gente.
Whereas, yeah.
11 anos que ela esteve aqui atrás, ela voltou, ela falou que o que ela mais sente falta é da galera, desse calor dos brasileiros, que todo mundo beija, abraça.
Que todo dia ela olha no Instagram e que tem algum brasileiro falando, vem pro Brasil,
Volta,
vem pro
come
Brasil.
back.
If people hug and kiss you in the UK, you're like, get off me! What are you doing?
Ela na Inglaterra é totalmente diferente. Tipo, não vem encostar, não rela.
Fala, mas não encosta. Sabe aquele emoji, galera? É assim que funciona.
You, what about the food? You were saying that you like the food.
So we came straight here from an amazing Brazilian meal. And last time I was here, actually, I only ate fish. I didn't eat meat. And I remember just being like, oh, I wish I ate steak. So now I eat meat again. And
You changed.
I changed, and it was so good. So I had proper Brazilian steak and caipirinha. And then what was the other thing I had? It was crema de
Creme de papaya.
Crema de papaya. It was
Amazing.
so
What about
good.
the cheese bread? Pão de queijo.
I didn't eat the bread, but I ate a really big piece of fried cheese. That was good.
I know.
I loved
Mussarela
it.
frita.
Ai, que delícia, gente.
Ela
o
falou que
queijinho
ela só
frito.
comeu peixe, né?
Da outra vez
Da
que ela
vez-
veio pro Brasil, agora ela voltou a comer carne. Eu já sou o oposto. I'm just saying that I'm the opposite because I'm from the south of Brazil, the place they invented the churrasco, this kind of meat, and I don't eat meat anymore.
really?
But I used to eat a lot.
So
I think
you
I
remember?
already ate for my whole life.
have to
E
say-
ela
have to
falou que
say
ela não
thank
comia
you,
carne,
Carol.
mas que agora come.
E a caipirinha também. Tá tomando caipirinha. E essa voz que você tá escutando de
Boa.
outro homem que não sou, é o Túlio, vai ajudar a gente aqui com a tradução.
Quando a gente fala
Será
muita
parecer.
besteira, gente, o Túlio corrige, entendeu?
E Kate, eu vou perguntar pra ela agora o que a gente pode esperar do show nessa quinta-feira lá no Teatro Liberdade, né?
Ó.
What can you expect for this show?
Craziness.
It's
Loucura!
loucura.
Loucura!
And so I've been talking to fans on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook because when I came in 2008, I only had like 2 records, and now I have 6. And so I'm asking everybody what songs they want to hear. And it's really difficult to choose which songs because I have so many songs now. So I'm just trying to look online to see which songs people want. And so I really hope I'm going to play the ones that people have asked for.
Uau, ela falou que ela tá montando o setlist, né, conforme
Tá maior agora,
os pedidos, que agora ela tem 6 álbuns, na época que veio pro Brasil a primeira vez tinha só 2, e que agora tem 6, e que então quem vai no show, quem tá afim de fazer pedidos, ela está lendo todos e anotando pra fazer aí esse playlist, né, esse setlist conforme os pedidos.
Maravilhoso.
A gente tá traduzindo legal?
O que você acha?
Tá perfeito.
A gente pode te dar um descanso, né, tadinho?
And Kate, it's only you and a drummer, or it's a whole band on this show?
So I am the band.
You are the band.
Yeah,
She is the band.
So I have this
power.
really cool setup. From when you're watching the stage, if you look at my feet, it looks like I'm standing in a really big plate of spaghetti because there's so many wires. But I have all this equipment, and so I call it my Taiwanese orchestra. It's all like really cool loop gear. So I make all the sounds, and I build my own beats, and then I'll sing backing vocals, and I do percussion and shakers and stuff. So it kind of sounds like a full band, even though it's just me.
Uau.
Ela é a banda toda, gente.
Ela é a banda
resumindo.
toda, ela faz tudo, toca
Vocês têm que
sozinha.
ver.
Ela falou que parece um espaguete ali de tanto fio que ela usa ali pra adaptar,
Maravilhosa.
né, os instrumentos.
E ela tá trabalhando o novo álbum, né? O
Sim.
Ox, o álbum Ox. How was the process of writing and the recording of
Really
this new
interesting
album?
because with my album Kin in 2016, I'd been through some really hard stuff. We all go through these periods of life where you think that you're not going to be okay. And my father died. I got divorced like straight after because I just woke up and I was like, whoa, I've achieved my dreams, but I don't feel happy. And I have made some really bad choices. So I think when that happens, you can either pretend and Band-Aid and try and carry on, or you go, nope, I'm gonna start again. And so that's what I did. And Kin was the album after I started life again, really. So it was a real kind of second...
Like a phoenix.
Yeah, phoenix from the flames, exactly. And it was all about the spirit, all about the soul, overcoming hard things. And then the next record, I wanted to make something very physical with electric guitar, really sexy, really like raw. And that felt like it was about the body. And then I thought, so that one was about the soul. This is about the body. I'm going to make 3 records, a trilogy, and the next one will be about the mind. So it's like 3 records, all with 3-letter titles as a trilogy. But the producer of this record was actually Nick McCarthy from Franz Ferdinand, the band Franz Ferdinand. So he was the producer, and there was just such a good rock and roll vibe. And I had an all-female band. When I played with a full band, it was all women. So that was really cool.
And you call Nick or Nick Carew to produce the album?
Nick was the producer. So he... Oh, to call each other?
Yeah.
I called him. And I met him a while ago. I love Franz Ferdinand as well, because a lot of those guys are Scottish, where I'm from, so we kind of know each other.
We love them too.
Yeah, really. I mean, I think they're a really important band. Like, sometimes
we play a lot of their songs.
Yeah, there's like certain bands like The Clash or Led Zeppelin where that band causes another 100 bands because everybody wants to be like them.
Inspires people.
Exactly. And I worked on something with Nick, and I woke up one morning, I was like, I have to make this record with Nick. And I called him, I said, do you want to do it? He said, yep. I went, cool, see you soon. And that was it.
Are you already writing the third album?
For sure. So it's a challenge because usually with a record you can write about anything, And with this trilogy, I have to keep within the idea. So the first was the soul, the second was the body, and then so this next one is all things about the mind. And it's also crazy because during this record about the body, I actually lost half of my hearing.
Really?
So this year now is completely deaf. 1 year ago, almost this week. And so the mind record, I'm like, am I going to go crazy?
Oh my God.
During this record? But it's okay. I really recovered fast, and I have another year. It's fine. But I have written a lot of the songs. There's songs about fear, there's songs about meditation, there's songs about the patterns of habits where you learn how to do things, and sometimes you have to undo all of that to learn new things. So it's really interesting, actually.
And we have a listener from Toronto.
Hi.
Yeah, he's probably a Brazilian guy because he's called José Manuel Martins Vieira.
We think so.
Canadian, we recognize the name.
He's a cop there in Canada. He's a cop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know him.
Yeah.
He's our listener.
Our listener. here.
And he said he's a big fan of you.
Oh, hey, thank you.
And he asked when you come to Toronto and said you are the perfect girl because when you achieve mostly of your goals, you're still not happy. This is the time to step back and start over. You are the best.
Oh, thank you
You
so
have plans
much.
to go to Toronto?
I played in Toronto, let's think, so probably in May, I think. I played at a really famous venue called the Horseshoe Tavern, which is one of those really famous bars where it's always sold out. But I'm going to be bringing out this new record soon, so I'll be back for that for sure.
Tá
Boa, ainda
chegando,
bem que tu
José. Vamos de música, Wentz?
Só pra localizar que ligou o rádio agora, a gente tá com a KT Tunstall aqui no Skate 89. Estamos ao vivo no YouTube, youtube.com/RadioRock89. Ela se apresenta aqui em São Paulo dia 7 de novembro, lá, a quinta-feira agora, Teatro Liberdade, lá na rua São Joaquim 129, e o ingresso você garante em eventim.com.br. Vai mandando suas perguntas aí nas nossas redes sociais, que é o @
Esquenta 89.
E a gente vai pra música ou ela vai cantar? We're gonna play your
You're
song
gonna
or we're
play?
gonna sing a song?
What do you prefer?
I would be happy to sing you a song, but
So?
you have to sing the backing vocals.
She's really
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
It's her dream to sing with you.
Okay,
She's going
so
to be very
which
good.
song do you want?
No, you choose.
Okay,
You choose.
so this is the backing vocal that you need. Woohoo!
Okay.
My heart knows it better than I know myself, but I'm gonna let it do all the talking. Woohoo! Woohoo! Bring to a place in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree. Woohoo! Felt a little fear upon my back, said don't look back, just keep on walking. Woohoo! Woohoo! But I won't come back and so happy. Now I got a hope for the world to say, yeah. Woo. And I said, no, no. No, 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 no. I said, no, no. You're not the one for me. I said, no, no. No, 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 no. I said, no, no. You're not the one for me. You're well the one, big black horse and a cherry tree. Can't quite get that cause my heart forsaken me now, no. Big black horse and a cherry tree. Can't quite get that cause my heart forsaken me.
Amazing.
Excellent backing vocals. Well done, well done.
KT Tunstall ao vivo, você pode ver nessa quinta-feira lá no Teatro Liberdade, então garante eventim.com.br. A gente tem que ir pro break agora,
I
né?
think we should go together to a karaoke.
Yeah.
What's your favorite
Por
karaoke
quê?
song?
Oh, I have some Brazilian songs
Yeah?
that I love.
Any like 80s pop music?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Mine is Faith by George Michael.
Wow. Amazing.
A gente já volta, vamos por aqui, daqui a pouco a gente volta.
Esquenta. Será que você aguenta?
10h33 ao vivo na rádio, ao vivo no
Boa.
YouTube, youtube.com/RadioRock89.
É isso aí, mande sua pergunta pra ela.
Sim. Kate, what
O
about
link
the...
tá no nosso stories, só pra lembrar.
Boa. This new song, Little Red Fret. What means the song for you? How did you write the song?
It was a really special song for me, first of all, because it's the first song on the record. And it's really important to me what the first song is. And I was on an airplane, and I was imagining if there was something you could actually see that connected people who know each other. And I was thinking about this thread from your heart to all of the people you know, and all the people, and this airplane taking off with hundreds of threads, and it all would kind of cross, and you'd end up with this big ball, and then one thread you pull and everything moves. So it's just that idea that we are all connected to each other.
And when did you decide to be a musician? I'm gonna be a musician.
So there was a real moment for me, because when I was younger, I wanted to be an actress. I loved being in theater because I loved performing. And then at 15, something happened where I picked up guitar and I was like, okay, this is really cool. But also I realized I didn't really want a director telling me what to do, and I didn't want to learn someone else's words. I wanted to write the words, and I just wanted to be free and, you know, be the boss basically. And also I had MTV had just started, and I saw "Loser" by Beck, the song "Loser," and that song changed
too.
my life because I was like,
amazing.
you know, I grew up with Wham and Whitney Houston and Prince, and it was all amazing. But then I saw Beck, and I was like, whoa, that is really cool. Acoustic guitar, beats. I thought it was the best.
But I heard you didn't want to be famous. Is it right?
Yeah, it was never really part of what I needed. What I really needed was to not have a proper job.
Okay.
I wanted to travel. I wanted to see the world. And I guess there's just a difference to be known as a musician and then to be a celebrity is a really different thing. So I love that people will recognize me and say, oh, I love your music or whatever. I just am not really interested in the other side of it where, you know,
to expose your life and talk about your life and
all the
personal
artists,
things.
All the artists I love are quite mysterious. I don't know everything about them. I don't need to know everything about them. They always have something to say through their music. So that's why I love them. Honestly, I think I was a bit scared of it. You know, it was so weird. And I just want to play in the
When
in a
did you
band.
realize, like, oh my God, it happened and I cannot
I'll tell you
change
when I
it?
knew, right? There was this big concert in all over the world called Live Earth in like 2008, I think it happened here too. And I was playing Giant Stadium in New York. I'd never played. I mean, that's the biggest gig ever, 65,000 people. And I was on first. And headlining was Bon Jovi. And I love Bon Jovi.
Yeah, we love it.
And so they were about to play, and I was walking to the front of the stage, and next to me, because he was walking to the stage, is John Bon Jovi.
Wow.
I was like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it. And I was like walking beside him, and this little girl, who's maybe 8 years old, jumps into the pathway, and she says, oh, can I take a photo? And I like step out the way so she can take a picture of John Bon Jovi. And she's like, no, you! And I was like, oh my God!
Shit.
No way! Sorry, John Bon Jovi.
Very nice.
And Kate Sandali, I see, was on that time, right?
Yeah.
Did you imagine it's going to be this huge, Sandali, I see?
It was the craziest thing. I had no idea. So I was writing all the songs for the first album. And I was in my basement in my apartment in London, and it was 2 a.m. And I was looking at the album cover of Horses by Patti Smith, great album. And she looks so cool, and she's so kind of confident, like she's not trying. She's just very natural. She's just being. And I had spent 15 years trying to be a musician, and it was really like I was fed up. I didn't want to try. I just wanted to do it. So I looked at her and I thought, I want to be like her. And I wrote this song. The whole song is just about that photograph. And it was finished in 30 minutes.
Wow.
And I didn't think about it at all.
And did you get tired of this song, or you are so only grateful for this song?
I am only grateful, 100%.
You're so sweet.
Oh my God. But when you play, I mean, I can go anywhere on the planet and I play that song. Maybe there's parts of Africa where people don't know this song. But almost,
I mean, so.
Everywhere I have been, I play that song and everyone in front of me is just full of joy. It's the most amazing feeling. So I will say I'm really grateful I didn't get famous with a really depressing song, because like Sinead O'Connor has to sing nothing compares to every single show. So I'm grateful.
People just start dancing and people be happy.
It's crazy.
They're happy because of your song.
Yeah, and sometimes I open for bigger acts. So I went with Pretenders and Simple Minds and really cool shows. But their fans don't know me as well. But then I play that song and I see them. They're like, it's her, it's her.
Everybody knows.
And I stop. I'm like, yeah, it's me. My song.
Could you sing it for us?
Yes. Where from? The beginning?
The beginning.
As long as we know you like it. So.
Face is a map of the world, is a map of the world. See, she's a beautiful girl, she's a beautiful girl. And everything around her is a silver pool of light. People who surround her feel the benefit of it, it makes you count. She holds you captivated in her palm. Suddenly I see, this is what I want to be. Suddenly I see, why the hell it means so much to me. This is what I want to be. Suddenly I see, why the hell it means so much to me.
Aê! KT Tunstall ao vivo aqui no Esquenta.
3 shows in Brazil.
Vamos
Yeah,
tocar.
for sure. And I promise it will not be 11 years until I come back again.
Please.
Sobre
Just a
isso,
match.
por que você demorou tanto tempo pra voltar?
So it was complicated because that first record was so big. When I first came to Brazil in 2008, I was playing to maybe 3,000 or 4,000 people. It was big shows. And I was with the booking agent in America who would book the gigs. And of course, the next album wasn't, it only sold 1 million, not 5 million.
Oh my God.
And I think they were like, oh, well, let's see what happens. Maybe the next year, maybe the next year, maybe the next year. And I'm like, come on, guys, we need to go back. And they never supported me to come back because it's quite expensive to come and play, the further away from where you live. And finally, I said, you know what? You can't see the gesture I'm making, but it's rude. I was like, I'm just going to go. And if you don't want to support me, don't. But I need to go and see my fans in Brazil. They're amazing. And so I have a new agent now. And I also have Tulio, who's helped me put the shows on. And so I'm just so glad. And so now I'm not waiting for anyone else. I'm going to do what I feel is the right thing to do.
Ai, maravilhosa. E eu queria perguntar pra ela, você faz a tradução, se você pudesse voltar no tempo e falar com a Kate, novinha lá atrás, começando a carreira, você teria algum, sei lá, conselho pra ela?
For me, I would say to myself, even if you're scared, try it. Don't ever say no to stuff before you've tried it. Because I remember at the point where my career was going to go really crazy big and I was going to start playing arena shows, and I remember going, no, it's too corporate. My music isn't good for that. I want to play small places. And I would change my mind now if I could do that again, because I've played those big places now and you can really get a great emotional feeling. It doesn't matter. So that's advice I would give anyone actually, is like, it's much better to regret things that you have done rather than things you haven't done.
And we have another question from another listener, Dagmar Diaz. He asked, how was it to be on stage with Simple Minds and Derry Hall and John Oates?
Oh man, I mean, this is like a masterclass, right? These are living legends, and Simple Minds, those guys are some of the most generous, kind people I've ever met. So nice.
It's so nice to listen.
And Hall & Oates too. But they're so good at their craft, not just the songs, because the songs have lasted for decades, so we know the songs are good, right? But the way they communicate with their audience, the way they get this connection, you learn. So as the younger generation, you stand at the side of the stage, you shut your mouth and you watch and you learn how to do it from these people, because they're the masters.
They're really artists, like the real ones.
Real ones, yeah. But I had such a funny experience because on the Simple Minds tour was also the Pretenders, who I love. So Chrissy Hynde is like my hero. And I would play first, and then the Pretenders would play, and Chrissy Hynde would say, oh, I want to say, how cool is KT Tunstall? And I'd be like, oh, this is crazy. And one night she said, I want to play this song for KT Tunstall because she really inspires me. And I was like, whoa. Wait a minute. Come on. Time out. So I spoke to her after the show. I was like, Chrissy, what are you talking about? That I inspire you. You're Chrissy Hynde. No one inspires you. You just inspire people. She go, can I say a bad word? Yeah. She goes, I don't know. You're just so fucking friendly. It's like, nice. Okay.
Nice. Amazing.
And Kate, you have a really interesting career in your life. It's interesting life. Have you ever thought about writing a book about your life?
I would really like to do that. It's really difficult to know when to start because you're just like, I think something else really cool is going to happen and it should be in the book. So I want to wait. But what I'd really like to do, I write a journal every day. So every morning, for a while,
it's like a habit.
Yeah, I got in the habit of looking at social media in the morning. I was like, I can't do this anymore. This is really bad for me. So I always make sure I get up and write in my journal. And my way of writing journals is really weird. I'll write like 1 minute about, how my soul feels. And then I'll be like, sharks are so cool. And then just talk about like, oh, remember when we ate grasshoppers in Mexico City? And all these really weird thoughts and weird order. And I think it would be really nice to actually write a book in that weird order. So you're almost reading my diary, really, and it's just a thought process rather than a story.
So you almost have it.
I think so. I would definitely have to edit it quite heavily.
Sobre bandas novas, what new bands have you been listening to?
So I'm really lucky to have a really great new friend who is Maggie Rogers. And she's amazing. I've been watching her really kind of begin a new kind of artist display, really, where she produces her own music, she writes her own music. I talked to her about when she got her record deal. She's a businesswoman. She just went in with like 20 pages of business plan. And if the record company said no, she was like, okay, bye. She's completely in control. And I think that her music is beautiful, very emotional, very honest. I also really love a British artist called Shura. Shura. She's just made a really amazing second record. And I love Bon Iver. Do you guys like Bon Iver? And his new album, I think he's a genius. Every time I listen to the record, I'm blown away because I hear new things. And I mean, the lyrics are insane. They don't make any sense. I don't know what he's talking about, but I love it.
Like your diary.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and we have a question that we do to the musicians here. What did rock and roll teach you?
I think rock and roll has taught me that the thing that is making you uncomfortable because it makes you feel weird or makes you feel different is probably the best thing about you. And that society will teach us to get rid of things that make us different from each other. It wants to kind of make us all the same shape and fit into the same hole. And rock and roll, the only way that you can stand out in rock and roll is being different from everyone else. Otherwise, you're just copying, and that is not rock and roll at all.
No, amazing. And you still have a dream that you didn't realize
Well,
yet?
this is a really interesting question because when you want to be a musician, this is the dream, right? You dream, I want to do this for a job. I want to have a tour bus. I want to have a band. I want to see the world. And then this really weird thing happens where you do it. And it happens. And then you're like, oh, shit. I did it. Now what? And you really have to come up with a whole new idea of what you want to do. And I think for me, it's really wide. Like I love writing music for film. I would love to learn how to make jewelry. I've always wanted to make work with silver. I'd like to produce other people. I'd really like to go back to acting. So there's a ton of things, but I think it really works better if you focus on one thing. So I have to decide what I'm going to do.
Yes, you're right.
Go on holiday. I'm going to get really good at going on holidays.
That's easy.
But I think it's the artist's brain that you're never satisfied. You're always going to make something and think it's the best thing ever, and then like 5 minutes later, you're like, oh man, I need to make something else. So I think that dream is always there to kind of impress yourself.
Sobre spoiler do show, tem ouvinte perguntando se vai rolar Made of Glass ou Weirdo no show de quinta.
Yes, I will play them. I will play them. So I'd seen those songs. Someone else was talking about Universe and You, which I will play also. And Made of Glass is maybe one of my favorite songs, actually. So yeah, I'll be playing that on the set list. I might have to play for 4 hours, by the way. So
You speaking Portuguese in your Instagram.
Yes, we
It's very
saw.
good. Congratulations.
Tulio sent me like a recording, and I had to try and write it down, and it looks like I'm writing a language from Star Wars. It's so crazy. And I was
Was
like
perfect.
looking at the words, and I was like, that does not sound like what the word is saying. And I realized that with Portuguese, you have to go uja, uja, uja.
Yeah.
Uj.
Yeah, open your mouth.
Novembro.
Very good.
Oito.
I think you should act again. You're very good.
I would like to.
Very expressive face.
It would take me a while to be in a Brazilian soap opera. I think I would take a while to learn Portuguese. But I'll try.
Could you try to speak our radio show in Portuguese? It's
Of
called
course.
Esquenta.
Esquenta.
That's it.
Perfect.
Olá, esquenta. Obrigada.
You know what it means?
No.
Esquenta. We use this word here in Brazil when we are doing like a warm up for a party.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Esquenta. That's why the
Esquerda.
late.
Esquenta.
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 Before we go out
Yeah.
and then like,
we make like a reunion in a house of friends
Oh, I
and
love
drink.
it.
Everybody.
It's
So
esquenta.
great.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why. And we started our show.
Well, I love your show. It's such a good vibe.
We love
real
you.
talk. We talked about good
Yeah.
stuff today.
E pedir para ela deixar uma mensagem agora para a galera que está escutando, para todos os fãs aqui do Brasil e para a galera que está escutando aí também pelo mundo todo, né?
I just really want to say, like, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for waiting for me, because that doesn't happen everywhere in the world. It's quite unusual that if you don't go back to see your fans, they'll move on to other things. And I remember before I came here, when I was coming here for the first time, so many musician friends of mine said to me, "Oh my God, Brazil is going to blow your mind." And I was like, how can it be that different? You know, it's different here. Like the passion for music and the love, the amount of love people show each other here, and us as musicians who come here, it's completely the only place on the planet where it feels like this. It's
We
so
love
great.
to listen to that.
It's so amazing. It's such an amazing. I feel so lucky that I get to come back. It's so cool.
Thank you so much for coming, Kate.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so
Unfortunately,
much, guys. So nice to meet you.
Unfortunately, we have to finish the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
But could you finish with you singing one more song?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So this
Please.
is
Thank
to
you so
all
much.
the Brazilian fans who waited for me. So it goes. You know, there's no need to hide away. You know, I tell the truth. We are just the same. I know that. Oh, I can't remember the words. I can feel everything you do, hear everything you say, even when you're miles away. 'Cause I am me, the universe and you.
Maravilhosa.
Thank you so much, Kate.
Thank
Nós
you.
vamos
Thank you.
Vou encerrar com
Obrigada.
Sandali I See.
Sandali I See.
Do you want to announce Sandali I See? We're going to play the song now.
Okay, I will do the video for you in the studio.
Ok.
Yeah.
Vamos então com Sandali I See. A gente volta amanhã às 10.
Nice.
Valeu.
Esquenta 89.